Dear students, welcome to ninth class biology. So we were discussing about the chapter plant anatomy and plant physiology. Today we are going to study internal structure of monocot stem in this chapter. So last class we completed internal structure of dicot stem. Today we are going to study internal structure of monocot stem. So this is a transverse section of monocot stem. Okay. So let's take what are the parts. So parts you can identify from here. So first of all, epidermis. So what is epidermis? This outermost layer, this is called epidermis. Epidermis, it is made up of a single layer of parenchyma cells. It is made up of single layer of parenchyma cells. Okay. In this single layer of parenchyma cell, it is called epidermis. You cannot see multicellular hairs or epidermal hairs. You cannot see on this epidermis. So multicellular hairs are absent. Multicellular hairs absent, and stomata they present on the epidermis, but in this monocot stem epidermis stomata they are present but very less number. Stomata very less number of stomata present on the monocot stem epidermis. So epidermis, it is the outermost layer. It forms a single layer of parenchyma cells. On this epidermis, epidermal multicellular hairs are not present and stomata present, but stomata number is very less. Okay. So that's about epidermis. Then after epidermis, another next part below the epidermis, this region, it is called hypodermis. Hypodermis. So this region is called epidermis. Hypodermis is present below the epidermis. So hypodermis is made up of a layer of sclerenchyma cells. Few layers of sclerenchyma cells. They are made up of hypodermis is made up of few layers of sclerenchyma cells. But this layer it is interrupted by chlorenchyma cells. Okay, so that is hypodermis. So what is hypodermis? Hypodermis, it is present below the epidermis. It is made up of a few layers of sclerenchyma cells, and those layers are interrupted by chlorenchyma cells. Okay, and these sclerenchyma cells which give mechanical support to this stem. Then after hypodermis, below the epidermis, the entire portion below the hypodermis, this area which is called ground tissue. Ground tissue. So in dicot stem we studied that below epidermis you can see cortex and then after cortex endodermis, pericycle, then vascular bundle, like that. So here the ground tissue which is not divided into cortex or endodermis like that. Okay, here it is made up of, this ground tissue is made up of parenchyma cells. So next we are going to look what is ground tissue. So ground tissue which is present below the hypodermis, it is made up of parenchyma cells. Ground tissue is made up of parenchyma cells, and this ground tissue they are not differentiated into cortex, endodermis, pericycle, and pith. Okay, so that's about ground tissue. Ground tissue present below hypodermis. It is made up of parenchyma cells, and it is not differentiated into cortex, pericycle, and pith and endodermis. Okay. Then after after ground tissue, next part is vascular bundle. Vascular bundles in monocot stem, they are skull shaped look here, they look like skull. So they are skull shaped and they are scattered in this ground tissue. This is our ground tissue, and in this ground tissue all vascular bundles, they are scattered. Okay, but in case of dicot stem, what you can see, all vascular bundles, they are arranged in the form of a ring. Vascular bundles arranged in the form of ring. But here in this case, vascular bundles, they are arranged, they are scattered in this ground tissue. Okay, and these vascular bundles are skull shaped and scattered in the ground tissue. And the vascular bundles, they are conjoined, collateral, closed and end arch. You know conjoined collateral. What is meant by conjoined collateral? Xylem and phloem, they are in the same radius, and phloem outer side, xylem inner side. Okay, that is, if a vascular bundle, in that vascular bundle, phloem arranged to outer side and xylem arranged to inner side, and they are in the same radius. So that vascular bundle is called conjoined collateral. What is meant by closed? In between this phloem and xylem, cambium is not present. Okay, so that vascular bundle is closed. Then end arch. What is end arch? So here, look here, this is our metaxylem. Metaxylem means new xylem, and protoxylem, this is protoxylem. Protoxylem is old xylem. So in monocot stem, protoxylem, they are arranged to center, and metaxylem, they are arranged to periphery. That arrangement is called end arch. So all the stem, whether it is dicot or monocot, the vascular bundles are end arch. In vascular bundles, protoxylem, they are arranged to inner side, and metaxylem, they are arranged to outer side. So that vascular bundle is called end arch. Okay, and this is our phloem tissue. Okay, and around this xylem and phloem, you can see a sheath of sclerenchyma cells. Sclerenchyma cells are surrounds all these vascular tissues. So these sclerenchyma cells, they form bundle sheath. These are sclerenchyma cells. They surround the vascular tissues. They form bundle sheath. Okay, so that's about vascular bundle. And look here, in this xylem, they are arranged in the look like in the form of Y. This is metaxylem and this protoxylem. They are arranged like in the letter Y. So that's also you note it. Then pith is absent. We already said, because ground tissue is not differentiated into pith. Pith is absent in monocot stem. So these are the major points about internal structure of monocot stem. The xylem in monocot stem vascular bundle. So what about xylem? Here in this vascular bundle, metaxylem and also protoxylem present. Okay, protoxylem and metaxylem present. But the last xylem in this vascular bundle, especially older vascular bundle, the last xylem, so protoxylem, the last protoxylem in older vascular bundle disintegrates and form a cavity. That cavity is called, protoxylem lacunae. Protoxylem lacunae. So this cavity is called protoxylem lacunae. That's about xylem vascular tissues. Then about phloem. phloem. So this is phloem tissue. Phloem, in this phloem tissue only companion cells and phloem sieve elements present. Companion cells and sieve elements only present. Usually phloem tissue made up of 4 types of cells: companion cells, sieve elements, phloem parenchyma cells, phloem fiber cells. But in this case of monocot stem, their phloem tissue composed of only 2 cells, that is companion cells and sieve tube elements. Okay, but phloem parenchyma and phloem fibers are absent in phloem tissue of monocot stem. Phloem fiber. Phloem fiber and phloem parenchyma absent. Companion cells and sieve tube elements are present. Then last about pith. We already discussed that ground tissue is not differentiated into cortex, endodermis, pericycle and pith. So pith is absent in monocot stem. Pith is absent. So this is about internal structure of monocot stem. Next we are going to look what are the differences between dicot stem and monocot stem. So let's discuss what are the differences between dicot stem and monocot stem. First of all, hypodermis. The hypodermis of dicot stem is made up of collenchyma cells. It is hypodermis is collenchymatous. Okay, but in case of monocot stem, we already know their hypodermis is sclerenchymatous. So that is the first difference. Hypodermis in dicot stem collenchymatous, monocot stem it is sclerenchymatous. Okay. Then what about vascular bundles? Vascular bundle in dicot stem, they are in less in number and they are arranged in the form of a ring. Okay. But in case of monocot stem, there are numerous vascular bundles are present and they are scattered in this ground tissue and they are more in number and they have skull shape. Okay. So that's about our vascular bundle. Then in case of monocot stem, bundle sheath is present. The bundle sheath, these are the sclerenchyma cells which surrounds xylem and phloem tissue. Okay, so bundle sheath also present in monocot stem. Then what about secondary growth? Secondary growth is present in dicot stem and it is absent in monocot stem because in dicot stem vascular bundle, cambium is present. Cambium is responsible for secondary growth. But in monocot stem vascular bundle, cambium is absent. So there is no secondary growth. Then pith. In dicot stem, pith is present. But monocot stem, we always said that pith is absent. Okay. Then medullary ray. Medullary ray, these are the cells found in between vascular bundles. Okay. So dicot stem, medullary ray. In between two vascular bundle, these cells are, if medullary ray, cells are present, that is in the case of dicot stem. In dicot stem, medullary ray are present and monocot stem medullary rays are absent. Next we are going to discuss internal structure of dicot leaf or otherwise called dorsiventral leaf. So dicot leaf, you know already dicot plant and monocot plant. There are two types of plant leaves, monocot and dicot. Okay, so dicot plants leaves, how they are different from monocot plant leaf, that's we are going to study. So first of all, this is the transverse section of dicot plant leaf, dicot leaf. So first part we are going to study now epidermis. Epidermis. Okay, so basically leaves, they have two epidermis, upper epidermis and lower epidermis. So this is upper epidermis. Upper epidermis. And this is lower epidermis. the points, what are the important features of upper epidermis? Look here, this upper epidermis is made up of single layer of parenchymatous cells. They are made up of upper epidermis. They are made up of single layer of parenchymatous cells. Okay, and in between these parenchymatous cells, there is no interstellar spaces. So this is epidermal cells. They have no interstellar spaces. That means without interstellar spaces, these parenchyma cells are arranged. They form a single layer. And on this epidermis, you can see cuticle, presence of cuticle. So epidermis, upper epidermis is cuticularized. Cuticularized. And on this upper epidermis, stomata, they are present but very less number. Very less number. Okay, so these are main points about upper epidermis. It is made up of single layer of parenchymatous cells and it is cuticularized, and stomata present but very less number of stomata. Okay, next lower epidermis. Lower epidermis, it is also made up of a single layer of parenchyma cells. Okay, made up of single layer of parenchyma cells, and compared to upper epidermis, lower epidermis has many stomata. There are numerous stomata present on the lower epidermis. So that is the main important point about dicot leaf. Upper epidermis very less number of stomata, lower epidermis more number of stomata. Okay, and the stomata on this epidermal cells, only guard cells only have chloroplast. Other epidermal cells, they do not have chloroplast. Okay, so on the lower epidermis, only guard cells have chloroplast, but other epidermal cells, they do not have chloroplast. And this, what is the function of this stomata? They helps in gas exchange. So lower epidermis, which helps in gas exchange. They helps in gas exchange. Lower epidermis helps in gaseous exchange. And lower epidermis also has cuticle. Their cells also cuticularized with a thin cuticle. Okay, so these are the main points about lower epidermis. So it is made up of single layer of parenchyma cells and they are thin cuticularized and more number of stomata present, and only guard cells of epidermis, this lower epidermis has, guard cells only have chloroplast. Other cells do not have chloroplast. Okay. Mesophil. So what is mesophil? The tissue present between upper epidermis and lower epidermis is called mesophil. Okay. So this mesophil cell, so mesophil, this region is made up of two types of mesophil. Palisade parenchyma. They are made up of two types of mesophil cells. Palisade parenchyma and spongy parenchyma. Palisade parenchyma and spongy parenchyma. So these mesophil cells, they are called palisade parenchyma. Palisade parenchyma. Okay. So where these palisade parenchyma cells are present? They are present below the upper epidermis, and these palisade parenchyma cells are elongated cells and they have numerous chloroplasts. Okay. So palisade parenchyma, they are found below upper epidermis and they are elongated cells and they contain numerous chloroplasts. They help in photosynthesis. They have numerous chloroplasts. So these mesophil cells, parenchyma, palisade parenchyma, which helps in photosynthesis. Then what about lower epidermis, spongy parenchyma cells? They are present below lower epidermis. Okay, so they present here. So spongy parenchyma cells, they present below these palisade parenchyma cells. These cells are oval or spherical shape and they have so much intercellular spaces in between, and these spongy parenchyma cells which helps in gas exchange, gaseous exchange. So this is the function of spongy parenchyma cells. They are spherical oval in shape and they help in gas exchange. So there are two types of mesophyll cells: palisade parenchyma cells and spongy parenchyma cells. Palisade parenchyma cells, they have more chloroplast, so they perform photosynthesis. Okay, but spongy parenchyma cells, they perform gaseous exchange. The next part after mesophyll, which is vascular bundle. So in the midrib region of leaf, the vascular bundles are very large. So at the center of the leaf, there is a major vein pass. That major vein is called midrib. Okay. In this midrib region, if you are taking the section, cross section of midrib region, you will get a large vascular bundle. Okay. Then this vascular bundle, they have vascular tissue, xylem and phloem. This is phloem and this is xylem. And these vascular bundles are conjoint, collateral, closed. What is meant by closed? There is no cambium present in between xylem and phloem. And around these vascular tissues, bundle sheath is present. This is called bundle sheath. Bundle sheath present, which is around this xylem and phloem. This is called bundle sheath, and this bundle sheath is made up of parenchyma cells. They are made up of parenchyma cells. Okay. Then the xylem, which is directed to upper epidermis, and the phloem present which is directed to lower epidermis in this leaf vascular bundle. Okay, so these are about the major parts of the dicot leaf.